everybody. We're on the road. This is Sweet 301 Road Trip Edition. This is Kelsey coming to you live from somewhere in Florida alongside the one, the only Sandy Sanderson. He's got a driving shift right now, but we wanted to make sure we got our May edition of Sweet 301 in, even though we are not in the lovely office. We are on our way to the D1 World Series in Tampa, Florida, coming from Panama City Beach, where we took a little bit of a stop after the NCSA World Series in Columbus, Georgia. The World Series for baseball starts in just a few days, so we're going to recap a few things that happened here, but let's get Sandy on here. How's it going, Sandy? How's the drive?
What's up, everybody? Sandy Sanderson here, working hard behind the wheel, keeping everybody safe.
Where are we right now? Do you know?
I'd say we're south of Gainesville, probably about a half hour south of Gainesville. GPS says we're going to be arriving in Tampa in an hour and a half. Looking forward to getting out of the car and stretching our legs.
And we're staying at a nice hotel somewhere, right?
Yep, the Doubletree, the official host hotel, the D1 World Series. Looking forward to getting there and putting our head on the pillow because it's been a long week so far.
And so far we've had two events that ran. We had the D2 World Series and the Softball World Series. Should we get Christian Smith on the line to talk about the D2 World Series?
Sure, let's get Christian on this phone.
For those of you that don't know, the D2 World Series was in Paducah, Kentucky, and that one just ended last night, I believe. We'll let Christian and Sandy fill you in on the details, but lots of good baseball down in Paducah, Kentucky, and always a fun time. Apparently, it's like Quilt Central of the USA, Paducah, Kentucky. So I'm told. But we'll get Christian on the line with Sandy, and you guys can listen to them hash it out.
Hello?
Christian Smith.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you're on Sweet 301. What's up, buddy?
Woo!
Hey, is this in the car, or where are you guys doing it from?
Yeah, we're doing it from the car. We were thinking about pulling over to a rest stop, but those are the bathhouses of America nowadays.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Just keep on the road.
Exactly.
Doing well. We're on our way back to Pittsburgh after a long week at the D2 World Series, but had a great event.
Yeah, I know Texas A&M Corps cadets came out on top. A lot of great pictures and footage getting shared on Facebook. Why don't you walk us through the event? I mean, we also had a lot of teams that were making the World Series for the first time too, right?
Can you hear the last part?
We had a number of teams that made the World Series for the first time ever.
Yeah. All in all, it was. You can thank Mitch for all the, great pictures and video. He did a great job with that. But yeah, it was out of the 8 teams there, 7 of them were new to the event, new to Paducah and the D2 World Series, and it was, from what I remember, probably the most competitive series to date. I mean, I think out of the first 8 games, every one of them was under a 2-run. The most run score was 5 runs, and there was no lead bigger than 2 except one game. So every game was tight, very close, very defensive. Just a really, really good tournament. Then we got down to Texas A&M, the Final Four. Texas A&M was playing Akron and took them down to force an if necessary game, and they were down 7 runs with at the bottom of the 6th inning, and they rallied and scored 7 unanswered runs to tie it up to make it 8-8. And the top of the 7th, Brandon King from Akron hit a solo home run to make it 9-8, which everybody kind of thought, okay, that's going to end it. But no, Texas A&M showed fight and scored another run in the bottom of the 7th, and then we went into extras, and if you saw the video, they scored on a sacrifice fly to move on to the championship, and they were just one of those teams that was just got hot at the right time. They lost their first game to Penn State 3-2, and then kind of just rolled through the rest of the teams and really picked it up late. So it was a great event by them. College of William and Mary was a very quiet all in all, just fantastic tournament. The field was impeccable. I mean, the grounds crew just did a great job. Everybody loved it, from the teams to the parents. We had really good turnout, especially from Texas A&M. So all in all, it was a huge success. Had great weather, so we couldn't have asked for anything better.
Now, away from NCBA baseball, there was a lot of other activities at the field, right? Autograph sessions, youth clinics.
Yeah, we did. This is the second year we were in Paducah, and the first year they did what they call a field trip on Monday, where local schools came out to watch a game as a field trip, but they included a question and answer session with some players to make it more educational, and they asked the players about college and things like that. So we actually did that twice. We did it on Friday and on Monday. So had a lot of kids come out, which helped with, I think, the local attendance, because those kids then told their parents about the tournament, and they came back out to watch the games. And we also had what I thought is my favorite, is the youth clinic on Sunday morning, where we, I believe, had 80 to 100 kids, local youth, come out and had all the teams there at different stations running different drills, hitting, throwing. There was a life skills station where they talked about, sportsmanship and, doing good in school and all that kind of stuff. So it was another success from that standpoint. The teams were great, because all the kids wanted autographs, and they stuck around to sign autographs and sign shirts and baseball, and I saw arms and foreheads being signed by players, so it was actually, which was pretty cool. But yeah, from that standpoint, away from baseball, it definitely impacted the local community and the kids, and definitely got the name NCBA out to the local community.
Outstanding. Well, it sounds like a tremendous event, and I'm sorry I had to miss it again, but I was off at the Softball World Series, but great job on that.
Thank you. Yeah, the staff was great. Everybody did, just picked it up. They were long days, but we had a lot of fun. So it was, all in all, like I said, just a successful event. And wish you guys were here, but we know that you have other business to take care of. But maybe sometime down the road we'll be able to, or you guys will be able to see Paducah and what they have to offer.
Sounds good. How far are you away from home?
We are in Columbus right now, so we're about 3 hours away, just under 3 hours.
Alrighty.
Make sure you stop at the Sheets.
What's that?
Make sure you stop at the Sheets.
Okay, we will.
All right, Christian. Well, hey, appreciate you taking the time to talk to us from the road, because we're also on the road, and get back safe, and we'll see you when we're back in the office in June.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I'm not even going to say anything, but good luck.
All right, thanks.
See you guys.
Bye. All right, we got Christian Smith, Vice President of Division II Baseball Operations, chiming in. I mean, he spoke very highly of how things went in Paducah last year with Division II. Sounds like it was even a step up from last year, so that's awesome. Good stuff there. And congratulations to the Texas A&M Core Cadet Aggies. Winning their first national championship. That's real exciting for them. And I really liked the way that it ended. The game ended on a tremendous defensive play, diving defensive stop by the first baseman, running over, hitting the bag, and then the big dog pile out behind the mound. So a lot of fun there.
I asked Andy this morning when I was watching the video. I never really understand the dog pile thing in baseball. I don't really think that's a thing in softball, but props to whoever is always on the bottom of the dog pile, because that doesn't look like it would be something that I would enjoy for sure. But at the same time as the D2 World Series was happening in Paducah, Kentucky, we had another event going on in Columbus, Georgia. About, how far is that from Paducah, Georgia?
Oh, that's probably 10 hours away.
So 10 hours away, there were the other half of the NCBA, Cool Club Sports, NCSA staff. We were in Columbus, Georgia, running the 2014 NCSA World Series, along with our staff member, Savannah Aarons, who will get on the line here in just a minute. But that was an awesome event. This is I believe the fourth year that we were fifth year that the event was in Columbus, Georgia, and nothing but Southern hospitality, honestly, down there.
Big props to David Boyd and the Columbus Sports Council. Great job, guys.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So we are on the road. We're about a little under an hour outside of Tampa, but you're live on Suite 301. This is Savannah Aarons. So we just heard from Smids and talked about Paducah and the CSJ World Series. Give us the recap of the week down in Columbus.
It was a pretty exciting week. I've already gotten emails from a ton of teams just talking about how excited they were and just what a great tournament it was, and by far the most competitive tournament we've ever had. This was the first time we've never had a team go 0-3 or 3. There was full play. It was either you either had 2 wins and a loss, or 1 loss, or 2 losses and a win. So it was pretty exciting for full play, and obviously that made it interesting for seeding for double elimination. But all in all, an incredibly competitive tournament with Florida State going down to battle for a championship and actually forcing the necessary games. So pretty much 2 championship games on the line there. So it's a super exciting weekend. All in all, the weather was gorgeous though, so we got it in without a hitch.
And I mean, after pool play, like Savannah just said, it really seems like any team at that tournament could take the entire thing.
Totally, agreed. And that was the consensus amongst all the teams. Just talking to the teams once they were eliminated, normally teams will be like, yeah, I think that team is going to win it all. Honestly, I think everybody, thought that it could have been anybody's game, which is great. It's a great feeling for, being in the tournament saying, I absolutely have a chance to win this thing. But obviously Florida State, like I said, down to the wire there at the end, and it was obviously a great championship. They only won the second championship game by 1 run, so it was pretty exciting.
And it was Florida's 3rd national championship, correct?
It was Florida's 3rd national championship, and the first of our teams to have 3. So.
And we also had a repeat MVPer. Who was our MVP?
Robin Adams of Florida State, who also won it back in 2011. This year she was a 5th-year senior and just overwhelmingly the favorite amongst all the teams, giving her MVP votes. And throughout the entire tournament, just like her body of work was absolutely ridiculous. And obviously she needed it helping force that necessary championship game. So huge props to her, and it was well deserved.
For sure. And huge shout out to the NCSA staff and everybody with the Columbus Sports Council. What can we say about all of them?
Well, if anybody knows David Boyd, they know that he is the most helpful, most caring, most selfless person ever, and he just really cares about, every single event that comes to Columbus, and, every time we go there, we feel special, and the teams feel that too. The teams and the parents that are there, everyone's so welcoming. So the Columbus Sports Council does a great job of helping us out with that and being hospitable and showing that true Southern hospitality. And then our staff, we've got some great volunteer staff that help us out this year. Hopefully they'll be coming back with us next year. Just all in all, an amazing weekend.
Favorite moment from the weekend before we let you go?
Oh no. You selling out all the t-shirts on birthday, like what did we call it? Black Friday?
I kid you not. In 48 minutes on Friday morning, from 9 o'clock till 9:48, we sold 320 t-shirts in 48 minutes. So we hope you all got your t-shirts that you liked.
Totally my favorite moment is seeing your face. Like, oh wow, that really just happened.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Probably giving away a championship trophy. That's pretty cool.
Nice, very nice. Well, Sam, thanks for everything. We had a fun week, and enjoy your mini vacation for the end of the season.
Right. I'm going to work today, so.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Savannah Aarons with the NCSA. Again, an awesome week down there, weekend. Sandy and I were both able to be there, and I was both able to be a part of it, so we had a good time.
And I got a few comments to make. I mean, Savannah's not going to toot her own horn, but she did an outstanding job as tournament director of that event, and just every I was dotted, every T was crossed. She was on top of everything. Great job. Tip my hat to Savannah. Good work there. I also want to tip my hat to the fans. I mean, I got to work in the ticket gate,
security,
and in-game promotions. I got to interact with the fans a lot, and there were a ton of them. Record-breaking number. We've never had that many parents and locals and just fans of softball and fans of the schools showing up. It's a tremendous atmosphere, and thank you so much, everybody. That whether you came from Florida or you came from Colorado Springs, thanks for coming out. It's an awesome event. You guys were great being there. And Robin Adams, congratulations. You had a great career, and hope to see you on board the NCSA volunteer staff here at some point.
And in just about a mile and a half, we'll be getting off another exit towards Tampa. It says we're just under an hour. I don't know if y'all can see that. But it says our ETA is 6:27. It's 5:18 here. Just a little break in the action before we preview the D1 World Series, which is Sandy's baby of an event. So all of you guys know our road trip has consisted of about 5 favorite artists, I would say, on the playlist. Sandy, who have your favorite artists been while we've been in the car?
My favorite artist in the ride so far.
Be honest. Be very, very honest.
I'm going to lose my bank card on that. Let's see. Cassidy Pope, big fan.
Woo! Come on.
You just played some Foo Fighters. Big fan of them. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Let's see what else. We haven't listened to much Celine Dion.
Come on. What's your band we've been listening to a lot?
Which one?
We played 3 songs. The one, the girl, she's a head singer with another.
Paramore.
Paramore.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Paramore.
Awesome.
We've been in the car in the last week. We've been in the car for like so many hours I can't even count them. So I think we've listened to every song on my iPhone, your iPod. Radio stations can't play something we haven't heard yet. So.
We're making it well worth the drive. And for anybody out there that wants to know, my favorite artists so far have been John Legend, and I think I played his new song "All of Me" about 19 times. And
that was a great song to sleep to. So yeah, I appreciated her playing it with.
The rule is whoever's driving gets to put on what they want. So I put my girly music on, and sometimes Sandy likes girly music too. So don't let him fool you. Sometimes he stays awake.
Stacey Arico has made several appearances on this trip.
Look her up if you don't know who it is. All right, back to the show. So Sandy Sanderson is running the final event of our baseball softball season. Like we said, we're on our way to Tampa. Let's preview the D1 World Series. Sandy, what teams do we have in it? We have 8 teams.
Let's see. We've got ECU. We've got Wisconsin making their first trip back in 8 years since they've been there. Texas also making it back for the first time in 8 years. Colorado State, everybody knows them. They've got, I believe, 6 national titles in their trophy cabinet. They're making their return after a 2-year hiatus. Let's see. Utah State won a national title 2 years ago. ECU won it 3 years ago. Florida making back-to-back World Series appearances. Cal Berkeley back-to-back World Series appearances. Delaware making their first ever World Series appearance.
Woo!
First time ever coming out of the North Atlantic. That's our first conference, or their first regional title, first World Series appearance. So excited to see what they bring to the table. Did I miss anybody?
I believe that was everyone. Let's go through. Utah State, Colorado State, Cal Berkeley, Florida, Wisconsin. I got 5.
Texas.
Delaware. ECU. That's everybody.
All right, excellent. Good to know that I know my stuff.
Got a lot of different colors of teams down there, purples and golds and blues, and it'll be a fun time. What's the D1 World Series like? What's the layout? I mean, like, how many games do we start with?
It's a 7-day tournament, which is pretty exciting. It's a lot of people wonder why is the tournament so long, and it's because the teams have asked for it over the years. It's been an evolution, and the teams have come to us. It's been about 6 years, and 6 years ago, this tournament was a 6-day tournament, and they said, Sandy, can we spread it out one more day so that we can stretch our pitching staff out better, so that teams are as competitive on day 7 as they were on day 1. Occasionally, a lot of starting pitchers get 2 starts in this tournament, which is kind of unusual. So sometimes you get a guy that goes 3. Bobby Mueller, Colorado State MVP, 3 starts.
So a 7-day tournament, and somewhere in there we have the
Marini Long Ball Challenge, Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. under the lights at UT University of Tampa Stadium. So
Be there.
Yep, we're going to have each of the 8 teams has representatives in it. And then with the help of DeMarini, we are able to provide money to help 8 other participants that didn't make the World Series travel down to join the Slugfest. So that'll be an exciting event. That's always very well attended. All the parents, all the teams are in the stadium at the same time. We got little leaguers coming out to help shag balls. That'll be an exciting event.
And last year, I understand there weren't that many home runs hit. Do you think it's going to be a different story this year?
I am hoping that the weather people cooperate this year, because last year there was a 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left field for that event, and no righty stood a chance. And I think we only had 3 lefties in the event, and 2 of them came down to the finals. So yeah, 2 years ago we had 50 home runs hit. Last year we had 5. So looking to expand upon that.
All right. Well, before I ask you the end-all, be-all question, which I hope you're getting ready to answer, what's your favorite part of going down to Tampa, just in general?
Tampa in general?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's the cigar capital of the United States. I can go down to Ybor City and get a nicely wrapped cigar.
And you can't see it now, but there will be palm trees eventually when we get there, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
And
all right, go ahead. And what else?
Oh, well, that's my favorite part of Tampa. My favorite part of the NCBA World Series. Is that going to be your next question?
No, that wasn't going to, but you can keep going.
Never mind.
No, go ahead. What's your favorite part of the NCBA World Series?
The championship game, when the final out is recorded, and the team goes out there and piles up on the mound, and it's just such an exhilarating moment. And one team's heartbroken, and one team is elated, and it just reinvigorates me for the next season. You know, it's a long year, and it's been a long week so far, and we got another week and a half ahead of us. It can be exhausting, and you know, when you see those kids just celebrate the moment like that on the field so naturally, so pure, it's like, all right, this is why we do this. Let's do it again.
Real drama in real life.
Absolutely.
All right, so the end-all, be-all question, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I think it would be great because we'll get a bunch of viewers. Who is your pick to win the D1 World Series?
Oh my goodness, Ryan Norris had me fill out a bracket for him to make fun of during the radio broadcast.
And if you can't be there for the World Series with us in Tampa, Florida, make sure you check us out on Facebook and Twitter. We will post links. Ryan Norris is somebody who works with us. He does the Gulf Coast region, correct? Somebody who works with us and has done it for how many years?
Let's see, he's probably been with us 5 or 6.
So Norris has been with the NCBA for 5 or 6 years, and he does an awesome job live audio broadcasts of all the games, correct?
Every game.
So he's got stats and he's got scorecards and player cards ready to dive into it. So listen live if you miss a game. But anyway, back to the question.
You would think Ryan Norris has a team of 5 or 6 statisticians and producers working behind him. He's a one-man show. So
all right.
It's impressive.
So you filled out a bracket for Norris.
Filled out a bracket. I'm trying to remember who I had winning it. I want to say.
No pressure.
I'm trying to think who it was. I think I had ECU defeating Delaware.
Ooh. All right.
I believe that's who I had.
You heard it here first. ECU winning the national championship in 2014, from the words of Sandy Sanderson. And Delaware, prove it wrong.
I think you know what game I'm really excited about? Saturday, the 11 a.m. game, Delaware and Texas. I think that's going to be an awesome matchup. I can't wait to see that game in particular happen.
Awesome.
That's what I'm looking for. The 3:15 game on Friday, Colorado State, Utah State should be a really good game. Look forward to that one too. I'm really excited to see all these teams. You know, I haven't seen Wisconsin in the World Series stage in so long, and they used to be such a power team. I'm looking forward to see what Jeff Block's got up his sleeve with his Badgers, what they're bringing to the table. Cal, another team, you know, making their first ever appearance last year. You know, coming all the way across the country. They went 2-Q last year. But now they know, and that doesn't surprise me. They went 2-Q last year. It has nothing to do with talent. It has to do with, you know, your eyes being a little wider than normal because it's your first time there. You're kind of like, you got that happy to be there attitude. They're not happy to be there anymore. They've been there. They know what it's about. They're coming early. They want to get weather acclimated. They've got practices scheduled. They're in it to win it. So I'm excited to see how they're prepared for this year's event after having experienced it for the first time last year. Same with Florida. I mean, Florida last year was their first time. They obviously don't need much of a weather adjustment because they live in this stuff. But Eric Curatora said they were really impressive at their regional, much better. He thought they were a much better team than they were last year. So who knows what the Gators are bringing? We'll find out on the field starting Friday.
All right. Well, we're exactly an hour away according to the GPS. It's 6:26 ETA. I lied. We're a minute ahead. It's 5:27 here, somewhere outside of Tampa, Florida. Thank you for joining us on the May edition of Sweet 301. Sorry for those of you who were expecting it yesterday at 301 when we usually do this, but hey, we got it in anyway, and we had a fun time.
Absolutely. Don't forget to have your cats, the dogs and cats, spayed and neutered.
Signing off, Sandy Sanderson and Kelsey Detweiler. See y'all next month.